Okay, Angela. Nuclear promoters say that nuclear is clean and green. What do you think of that statement?
Well, industry efforts to greenwash nuclear energy really make a mockery of our clean energy goals. While nuclear during the electricity generation stage has a smaller carbon footprint than fossil fuels, its impacts still are very great and beyond just the carbon footprint. All stages of the nuclear fuel cycle or chain, from uranium mining to processing, refining, fuel fabrication, reactor operations, nuclear waste handling, they all emit radioactive carcinogenic pollutants and leave a toxic legacy of radioactive wastes. For example, Dr. Ian Fairley is a radiation biologist from the UK. He's written that 100 kilograms of tritiated water vapor are released routinely every day into the air and water from the Pickering nuclear station alone. So that's just right on the border of Toronto. And tritium, of course, is a carcinogen, causes cancer, a mutagen, mutates genes, and a teratogen. It crosses the placental barrier to affect the developing fetus. So then there's the issue of accidents, of which there have been many, large and small, in Canada and around the world, which have left large sacrifice zones and untold harm. Fukushima and Chernobyl example are the largest that we're all familiar with. Dr. Timothy Musso and his team of researchers from the University of South Carolina, they've been studying the effects of Chernobyl and Fukushima, those nuclear accidents, on animals and plants for the last few decades, and they have found increased mutations, genetic damage, poorer performing and malformed sperm, sterility, pollen inviability, cancers, cataracts, mental retardation, fewer species, fewer numbers, dead zones, and no evidence of adaptation. So how can an industry claim to be green when it has an intractable problem of nuclear waste that needs to be isolated from the environment for hundreds of thousands of years, if not millions of years? And all we get out of it is a couple of decades of electricity. Then heat is generated from all nuclear power plants, which adversely affects water ecosystems. I mentioned that all our nuclear reactors in Ontario are on the Great Lakes, or the Bay of Fundy is in the case of New Brunswick. All of Canada's nuclear reactors, to save money, they use a once-through cooling system, which discharges billions of gallons of water every day at temperatures into the surrounding water, at temperatures up to 9 degrees Celsius hotter than the water in which it flows. And at the same time, they're netting, entraps and kills millions of fish. And the insurance industry won't insure against nuclear power accidents. Nuclear power plant operators rely on a government-backed Nuclear Liability Act. It's an insurance scheme that limits industrial liability in the fact of an accident or an attack. At present, the liability is just $1 billion that nuclear is liable for. Compare that to accident at Fukushima, for example. That's expected to cost upwards of a $500 billion. So once again, taxpayers and future generations are left just covering the butt of the nuclear industry.
We can do it cleaner
And definitely leaner.
if we shut down